Wherever you are welcome. Wherever you are, wonderful and lovely people, it is my singular honor and pleasure to welcome you tonight to a wonderful broadcast this very day. You are highly welcome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. I welcome every one of you, regardless where you are joining us from, regardless where you are watching from. You are welcome. I want to remind you that today is the burial date of late Queen Elizabeth II. They call her Her Imperial Majesty, who ascended the throne of Great Britain at the age of 25. And the rest years of her reign was reign of terror and horror over the indigenous people in different parts of the world, more especially in this part of the world, in the land of Biafra. Today, Queen Elizabeth II is buried. She died on the 8th of September 2022, on Thursday, the 8th of September 2022. And her death was brought to the public notice on the 9th, being Friday, September 2022. We received the news of her death with great joy, satisfaction, celebration, and pleasure, because her death marks the death of the captor, the colonial master, a woman that her reign claimed the lives of millions of Biafrans between 1967 to 1970. Until this very moment, Biafrans are being killed as a result of her role, as a result of her active roles and contributions in the affairs of Nigeria and the Biafran people. If you look at the caption of the broadcast today, it is very simple and very understandable. This very caption, I don't think is a surprise to some of you that have been following me for a very long time. More especially those of you that have heard me make references to the prophecies I gave about this very woman, late Queen Elizabeth II. By the grace of God, I am going to bring to your notice those of you that are coming across my broadcast for the first time. I welcome you. And those of you that are returning subscribers, I welcome you. Thank you very much. I am going to bring to your remembrance once again, and I'm going to bring to the screen that you may understand that that very prophecy has what we call double fulfillment. The prophecy fulfilled last year, 2021. God spoke to me in the month of April 14th about this woman, Queen Elizabeth II, and I brought the prophecy to the public domain, published on my YouTube channel, Maxwell and Nnawuihe, on the second day of the month of May, 2021. It lasted for about 14 minutes. The video is about 14 minutes duration. As the Lord spoke to me, I spoke to the world, I spoke to Biafrans, and I explained in clear terms what God actually meant and all the detailed information that are so important for the consumption of my audience. of Biafrans, lovers of freedom, and by extension the world, those who care to know. It wasn't long after that very prophecy was released, the manifestation started with, or should I say, by the touring of the eastern states and the southern states by the British High Commissioner, Katrina Lang, giving the sitting governors marching orders never to allow Biafra to come, never to allow Nigeria to divide officially. And her move was captured in the prophecy as well. And after her move, in the month of October, the same year, 2021, here comes the British warship, loaded with different kind of ammunitions, over 50 containers of different grade of ammunitions, weapons of war. In the month of October, either the 10th or the 25th of the month of October 2021, the indigenous people, more especially from this part of the world, we are flung into trepidation at the sight and at the hearing of that very move by the British government headed by late Queen Elizabeth II, which ordered the coming of the warship to the Nigerian waters. All was targeting to quell, to suppress, to silence the agitation, peaceful agitation, a call for referendum for the freedom of Biafra. And I came back on air and reminded the world of the prophecy and the manifestation. The evidence were so glaring. The evidence was so clear. It was not in doubt that indeed the prophecy has come to full manifestation. After the coming of the warship in the month of October 2021, in the month of November, we declared 30 days fasting and prayers, which were titled Drawing the Bloodline. We drew the bloodline against the warship. The warship left. We continued to pray, fasting and prayer, 6 to 6, for 30 whole days. On the 27th day of that very month of November 2021, as we were fasting and praying and concluding our prayers, in our prayer meeting with our IPOB Biafran Women platform, that's where we were, in our Zoom meeting on the 27th. Those of you that were there, I would like you to check out the video of that very prayer meeting that very day, because it was recorded. And of course, day before yesterday, on Saturday, I reminded those of you that were with us during our Saturday prayers, and you saw the video, you heard the prophecy, and I believe that some of you were so thrilled with joy that the prophecy came to pass. We read the scripture, which is rightly written on our flyer today, Revelation chapter 17 from verse 7 to 8. And I went on to explain that in the context of our prayer, that very scripture captures the position of Great Britain in the face of the Biafran people. And of course, Queen Elizabeth II as the beast that was described in that very scripture. And I gave a prophecy as I was led by the Spirit of God during that very prayer that day, that the beast, the woman, Queen Elizabeth II, shall be dethroned before our very eyes, that we will see her being dethroned and her crown shall be removed. Today, her crown has been removed. The crown has been on the coffin. From the day she died until today, the crown was removed from the coffin and placed upon the altar of their church over there. She has been dethroned before our very eyes. As I said that very day, I gave the prophecy and we prayed. You prayed, I prayed. Sincere prayers, heartfelt prayers, prayers with burden, prayers in response to the plight of God's people, the Biafran people. Prayers that were offered out of sacrifice. Prayers that were not self-seeking or self-centered. Prayers that actually explain the burden that God has placed upon my heart and my ministry for my generation and the new generation of Biafrans and generation to come. Prayers that were offered upon a very pure and holy altar. God answered it. It is called a law of double reference in prophecy. When a particular prophecy fulfills more than 2 times, it is a law of double reference. It is called double fulfillment. It is impeccable. It leaves no one with any doubt or question as to who actually spoke through that man of God. It leaves everyone with a clear understanding that indeed God spoke through his servant. Another scripture that is clearly written on our flyer is Deuteronomy chapter 18 from verse 18 to 22. These scriptures, we're going to read it tonight, that you may understand once again that those of you who are connected to this very altar and platform, you are in the right place. Those of you who have been supporting my ministry, those of you who have been praying for me, those of you that love me, that care for me, that you are not doing the wrong thing, you are doing the right thing. And every one of you that had ever sent a dime to my account, which I received on behalf of the church and my team, you never wasted your money. It wasn't wrong expenditure. It was wise investment. And every one of you that have ever responded to my divine instructions, guidance that God gave to me on your behalf, all the prayer exercises and all the divine guidance and instructions I've ever given to you, every one of you that have ever obeyed and complied with them, today, once again, you can understand that you never wasted your time. You can understand that you were not foolish. As some people, we are trying to call you out or discourage you from following us, from obeying the divine instructions that God gave to you through me. And I will quickly understand it very much better after the release of Nnamdi Kanu that indeed the Lord sent me and empowered me, and eventually he has given me victory on behalf of our generation, on behalf of the church I represent and I lead, the Gospels International, the appointed place in the blessed land of Biafra, and by extension, every other person that is directly or indirectly connected to my leadership or my ministry. I would then understand that actually God has done it and God has given me victory. But that wouldn't mark the end of my efforts, my spiritual contributions